Hi guys, Adam here. I'm with Steve, who's stuck in his phone. What are you looking for?
Trying to find a picture of Jose. Social media and that, innit? Let's get social. Alright, can't find it. Let's carry on.
I know you got a bank full of Jose. Anyway, we're through. We're going to Stockholm. How you feeling?
We made hard work of that, mate. That last couple of seconds, from my angle, that looked like it bounced in. There was a lot of nervous faces and bumholes in the Stretford end for a second.
We brought that on ourselves, didn't we?
Massively so. Like when he brought Carrick on for Mkhitaryan, you're like, well, Jose's setting up now for 1-0 and keeping it at 0-0, and ultimately, but do you know what? Like, forget all this. It doesn't matter, mate. We're in a final at the end of the day, and I said to you about 2-3 weeks ago, innit, that I'll take results over performances, because all season we've had performances, and the result wasn't right. We'd end up with a 0-0 or a 1-1 that we didn't deserve. Today we ended up with a 1-1 that we probably did deserve, but ultimately we go through to a final in Stockholm. So who gives a shit?
Very true. We are going to Stockholm. We've got Ajax in the final. Anything that scares you about them?
I think they concede a lot of goals, which is handy for us because we're going to need to score some goals for a change. The good thing is, or it was up until tonight at least, that we could keep a clean sheet or at least minimise how many people score against us. Now that Eric Bay is more than likely going to be out, although, I mean, by the time this ends up out, we might have found out exactly what's happened, but there's a little bit of talk that it was a bit of mistaken identity and it was Valencia that shoved him. If that's the case, then it might get rescinded.
Is that not more worrying?
No, because if it wasn't Bay, then it'll get rescinded because of mistaken identity. I think that's the only time.
It doesn't get given to Valencia?
I don't think they can do that, no.
Well, that'd be good, innit?
Actually, I would rather Valencia suspended than Bay, mate. I think we really need that centre-half. And
Maybe, yeah.
because I think he would throw Axel in as a right-back. I don't think he's throwing him in as a centre-half.
True say, Beyonce. Anyone else stand out for you today, apart from Fellaini?
Nah, I don't think Jose was great today with his tactics. I thought we was a little bit timid, considering this is Manchester United, this is a European semi-final, and it's a good job Celta was shit, mate, because we allowed them a lot.
He says the crowd are inconsistent, but the team are inconsistent, and the team very rarely attack. If he wants us to get up off our feet, then surely.
It's a two-way street, mate. The crowd and the fans can get behind them. Like, the last big semi-final I remember here, Barcelona 08, right? No one needed to say damn things to the crowd. It was on it because they could see that we was fighting. We had our backs to the wall and we had a great Barcelona team coming at us. And, you know, Wes Brown put in one of those colossal performances, but we attacked when we needed to attack. And, you know, Scholes' goal aside, we actually put them under pressure at times. That Barcelona team and, you know, the team that beat Barcelona and this team, they're miles apart at the moment, a long way apart. But that's ultimately the standard that we have to set for Manchester United. And I think that the fans know that this team's not at that level yet. And I think the players know that this team's not at that level yet. So the players have a duty to lift the fans as much as the fans have a duty to lift the players. Unfortunately, there's only going to be about 10,000 of us in Stockholm, although I'm sure there'll be others that find our way in. It's a poor allocation for nearly 50,000 all-seater stadium. It's bangers.
They give us like behind the goal a little bit and then fill it out with
17,000. It's not that bad with corporate actually. It's 11,000 corporate. But it's 17,000 neutrals who are now going to be paying.
It's not that bad with corporate, but they get more than us.
But they don't get as much as both sets of fans, do they? You know the dance. Mate, this is UEFA. Did you expect anything less?
No, that's true. Should we do some ratings, Romero?
Let's talk about what's going to happen to the league now, because I think Jose Mourinho is going to completely phone it in. He might actually play himself.
I think he'll may as well just bring Nicky Butt in, bring the under-23s in. He has a few weeks off. He may be less moody when Stockholm comes around.
I honestly don't think you'll see I don't think you'll see Pogba, and I don't think you'll see Herrera for more than an hour over the next 3 games. I think you'll probably see him just to keep him ticking over, but I think he probably should as well wrap him up in cotton wool a little bit, because we've got no Ibra, we've got no Rojo, we've probably got no Bailly. We're lacking in manpower, we're lacking in firepower, and I think we've got to just get to that final with some sort of 11 that looks like Manchester United, because we could quite easily end up there with a hell of a side showing up. You know, and that's that, innit? Ultimately, no. Whatever.
Gaz said today that if we do, I don't mean to shit on Gaz by the way, but I'm gonna. If we do win the Europa League, still been an unsatisfactory season. I can see where he's coming from, because he says the league's our bread and butter, should be doing better in it. But
yeah, we should. But ultimately, what was the target at the start of the season, really? The minimum target was to be in the Champions League next year, right? So if we're in the Champions League next year, that's the minimum achieved. And I don't think you can say, is it happy, is it sad, is it good, is it bad? I think there's more shades of grey than that. And I think if you look at getting Champions League football, at the start of the season, we thought, I certainly said, I think we're going to win the league. I think we had a squad good enough to win the league. Now, the stats that we're putting up, the chances that we're creating, that's good enough to win the league. But our conversion rate has not been good enough to win the league. And that is the only stat that you can't see a marked improvement in and say that Jose Mourinho is better than Louis van Gaal in this area, in this area, in this area. The conversion rate, and you can't blame Jose Mourinho for that. You have to look at the players for that. And the players have to look at themselves for that. And I think if we're definitely going to spend money like... is that snow? Is it snowing? I think that's ash. Whatever.
Ash or snow? One of the two.
It might be a volcano in the Salford area. It's pumice. I think next year we are going to spend a load of cash, and he's going to resolve that finishing problem. I think he's probably going to sign at least 2 strikers. So I think you can say we achieved the minimum expectation. We might have gone over that by a couple of % by picking up a League Cup. But still, yeah, I think you can say it's just about satisfactorily. I think you can say it's just about achieved the minimum. I'm not going to say it's good. I'm not going to say it's vintage. I'm not going to be like, remember that 2017 team? Don't think anyone's going to be talking about that, are they? But I think what you have to say is, if we're in the Champions League pot and then we're in the draw next season, then it's mission accomplished and it's time to build. Because we've not really had any sort of period of building, have we? And that's what we need. People need to realise that even if it is Jose Mourinho in that chair, this shit takes time.
And rebuilding and winning trophies at the same time, it's not bad, is it?
No, it's not bad, and I think Jose Mourinho probably understands the job more now than when he said yes to taking the job on. I think there's probably things that surprised him, people that have surprised him, people that have let him down, people that he expected stuff from that haven't delivered, and I think that puts him in a good position now because, look, he signed 4 excellent signings at the start of this season.
Two of which aren't available for the final, I think.
Yeah.
Bailey's that one.
So he signed 4 excellent signings with hardly any homework done. He just sort of come in and was like, yes, them. Some of them might have been pre-arranged beforehand, we don't know. But either way, he signed 4 signings that have come in and been fantastic without really knowing what he had. Now he knows what he's got. So I expect educated signings now that are really going to improve Manchester United. And I was saying to the lads around us in the Stretford end, this is giddy as f***, like, and this is definitely getting clipped up next season. But how Mourinho is it for us to go and do something daft, like scrape our way through the way we have this year, and then go on and win the league and put some real pressure on with like a semi-final of the Champions League next year?
I think if we get Champions League football next year, winning the league isn't far off. It's that important. Because if we're in this competition again, we ain't finishing top 4 next year.
No, and that was my issue with the Europa League the whole way through, and it's been proven. Have we even won a game? I think we might have won 1 perhaps on the back of a Europa League Thursday night game. I think we might have won 1. It's not many at least anyway. And I said, the longer you go in the Europa League, the more your league form suffers. And I thought we needed to be getting into the top 4 via the league system, which is, you know, the sensible, like Gaz says, the bread and butter way of doing it. I think I said earlier in the season as well, winning the Europa League to get Champions League football is like playing the lottery to pay your rent. Now, someone wins the lottery. Maybe we win the lottery this time around, but it's not exactly the most sensible approach to be like, yeah, f*** the league, we'll just go win a cup that we've never won.
Well, we're about to clock football forever. Wrap it up, man of the match. Da, 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 da.